Good afternoon, everyone. This is Larnie Mulvey, the Power Lady, and I am on Old Ladies Lift Chat here today. And I have...
Hi, Chandler Mars. I am the founder, creator of Old Ladies Lift, the premier Facebook groups, website, YouTube channel for older women who lift frickin' heavy. Today, we have a very special topic that we're going to cover. We're going to look at powerlifting with brain injury. Yes, it can be done. I think many of us think that once you have an injury, particularly a brain injury, that your lifting career is done. Apparently for some, that's when your lifting career starts. So under the right conditions, powerlifting can be a useful tool to recover not only brain function, but body function as well. So we're talking to a very special guest today. Her name is Arlyn Smith. She's 41 years old and is an inspirational part of Old Ladies Lift, the Old Ladies Lift community. She reminds us every day that it's not about what we cannot do, but what we can do. At the age of 23, Arlyn almost died and was in a coma for a few weeks. She was not expected to survive, but she did. When she woke up from the coma, she was not able to move or speak for a year and was told that she would be in an assisted living facility for the rest of her life. The loss of oxygen to her brain caused severe damage to her cerebellum. The cerebellum is that cauliflower-looking section on the back of your brain, on top of your brainstem, that is responsible for regulating, coordinating motor movement, regulating balance, and maintaining equilibrium and muscle tone. Folks with cerebellar damage have difficulty with movement, especially rapid or complex movements. Walking is difficult, and their walking is often ataxic, meaning they have a kind of a wide stance, drunken sailor type gait. Muscle weakness and tremors are common. Slurred speech is common, as is nystagmus. That's the eye movements that go back and forth. With all this going on, one would expect that lifting would not be key to recovery. But for Arlyn, it was, and likely for others too. Though the research is scant, there are a number of case studies showing significant improvement. This is likely due to the retraining of neural pathways that happens when you lift or do any activity repeatedly. It's been 18 years since the original injury, and Arlyn is not only living on her own, but lifting weights and training for the next Paralympics. She's here today to talk to us about her journey of recovery. Arlyn, welcome to the OLL chat. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Quite a long introduction, but I think it was important to give the scope of what you've been through to get to where you are now. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've been through, and then we'll talk about how you got here to being a weightlifter.
Oh, well, first of all, I want to say if my life means anything to anyone, I would not change a single thing about it. Nothing in my history, my physical history, my current medical situation, nothing at all. But so yeah, I had a stroke when I was 23, and it's been about a few years like being taken care of by my family at home. I've lived on my own for a while this way when I told that I'd never live on my own again. And I also have a history of severe anorexia and mental illness. And I also drug and alcohol abuse. And on top of that, I had an MRI back in January, and I was told that I may have, on top of everything, I may have, like, what do they call it? Not genetic, congenital ataxia.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess when the rains of chords, and I was like, you must be kidding me right now. I was like, does it ever stop? But, and so currently I'm in the process of making an appointment to go see the cancer specialist up at Johns Hopkins to get genetically tested and to see, on top of everything else, if I also have congenital ataxia. So
it's pretty remarkable, though, what you've been able to do. And we can see in the background a little bit, we can see your gym, your rig. Where
I could see it in her arms. Look at her cut arms.
Look at her arms. Yeah, flex for us here.
More flex than I do. Oh my gosh.
So how did you come to lifting after all of this? What made you decide to lift weights?
Well, you know, I told people on here at the camps, it was curling cans of Campbell's soup. Like, I was so weak and had so little muscle control and movement. And I was like, my physical therapist had me started off lifting cans of soup. And I would lift a little more and a little more and a little more. I went from this cans of soup to like 5-pound dumbbell and increase. And I realized like that I was getting better, that my movement was getting better with repetitive physical activity. And like, I think one of the reasons that I told all these negative things by medical professionals is because it's so, not to do my harm, but it's so rare the people in the world like really try hard. Because when they're given a deadly, horrible medical diagnosis, their natural reaction is to give up. When the whole world, when all the medical field and everything, like tell someone it's impossible, or you're never, or you shouldn't try because it's never gonna happen. Pretty much it's real that people believe it, and it causes them to not try. But I realized that the more effort I put into my physical health, the better I got. And the more I did, the more I was like, well, let's see what this next increase does. And it's just built from there.
That's pretty remarkable. I wonder what you think about if doctors perhaps saw the possibilities and didn't give folks a diagnosis like they did you, that you're going to be living in an assisted facility, but instead said, you know, this is horrible, but you can recover. These are kind of the things you're going to need to do. Do you think then people might actually respond differently and perhaps not shut down as much?
Yeah, I definitely think if they're given hope, and that's a big thing for that I try to instill in people, it's a sense of hope, because I know I wasn't given one single shred of hope.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I think when people have hope they're going on to, they tend to find it within themselves to think, well, if this person can do it, I see it's possible. But like back when I hit my stroke, I didn't have any role models or like for weightlifting or physically, and I didn't have any sense of the possibility of ever getting better.
Yeah. I mean, again, I can't help but say it. It's remarkable what you've been able to accomplish, and it sounds like a long time to accomplish, but in the scope of lifespan, it's relatively short. I mean, you've basically retrained your entire body. to respond to different stimuli, and you're able to walk better now. You're able to lift weights now, develop muscles, and your balance is better, and all of these you're living alone, all through basically repeated motor movements and trying to gain strength.
And I will tell you, well, you all know I started walking on the young last fall. And before that, I've been like working out for like maybe a year and a half or 2 years, but I was just using like.
Oops! Oh, we lost you, Arlyn. There you
like,
are.
Just like resistance. But I wasn't using heavy weights. But in the last year, since I started walking, I've made it a 20s, like to do squats and lift, like use actual weights, and now it's just resistance and cardio. And I think everyone seen what's done from my walking and my physical body.
Yeah, it's been remarkable to watch. I keep saying that. I need to find a new word.
It is. It's awesome because like I remember you posted you had a walker that you are not using anymore. And I think it's awesome that you've gained the strength and the mobility to not use your
and walker. To lift the walker.
You can lift the walker.
Yeah. I tell you what, about exactly a year ago, I just was walking for the first time. I could barely make it from my door to the steps on the hallway, which are like a bit 10 feet away, and I was like about to fall over. And the other day, actually, well, it was like going to playground, so it was on the regular. And when you all saw the other day, I actually climbed a ladder.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Can I just say that when you do the monkey bars, it makes me jealous because I can't do
them anymore.
Well, I realized I absolutely thought it would be no problem. Like, yeah, I can get across those easily. The first time we did them, I did like one run, and I was like, and I was thinking, how is this so easy when I was little?
Oh, I think if it was we weighed 60, 80 pounds when we
I'm like, yeah, I weigh more now.
Yeah, I think the arm strength I always call it the arm to butt ratio was different.
Yeah. I don't have the coordination to go like that.
I think we all need to start doing monkey bars.
I think you should challenge the team or challenge the Facebook group and be like, hey, I challenge you guys to do the monkey bars.
Let me tell you, I fall off those things all the time. I'm not graceful on those things.
Oh, I'd be lucky to get a couple. Yeah, I wouldn't be graceful either. So do you work with someone? Does someone help you develop your workouts and everything? Or are you doing it all on your own?
Great question.
Well, I don't think a lot of people know this because I don't talk about it. I'm actually a NASA CPT.
Yeah. So let's talk about that actually. Yeah. So I think you mentioned in your notes that you were it was after the injury that you decided to do this. Mm-hmm. So you still hadn't fully recovered, I'm assuming, and you hadn't begun lifting yet, had you? Beyond the basic physical therapy.
Oh, well, actually I worked at the gym, but only on machines for like about 2 years. Yeah, then I stopped working out completely, lost all my muscle. I could not walk again.
Oh, goodness.
Wow.
After a few years.
And then what prompted you to become certified?
Well, I knew what it had done for me. Actually, I'll tell you, one of my specialties, I specialize in senior fitness. When I started going to the gym, way back the first time, I went to a gym that was like run by the local hospital. And most of the members there were a lot older.
Uh-huh.
I had this idea all growing up. I thought that weightlifters and people that worked out were like really young, muscular males and girls, young girls that did bikini contests. I just saw the gym day in and day out. I see these older people working so hard, and I say, these people are incredible. And I think so often older people that work out get overlooked or kind of like poo-pooed or like thrown aside, like they're not able. And I realized I wanted to train these people because they're every bit as awesome as the younger people.
Maybe more so because of what they've been through to get there.
Exactly. Exactly.
So how did you get to the lifting to the extent that you are? To transition from machines to doing more free weights is quite difficult.
Well, I realized that, I mean, I kind of had to, because I was like, well, I thought that actually I want to get better. And I realized there's a tipping point and there's a certain limit that I'm not gonna like build big muscles or like you can, of course you can build a strength on machines. Like I'm not saying anything negative about machines, but they really, if I'm gonna do really good, I just step my game up. And even though it was hard, and I knew it was going to be hard to transition to lifting heavy weights, I know well that hard does not mean impossible.
Exactly. And I think that's probably the take-home message with lifting in general. Hard does not mean impossible. Maybe that's another t-shirt.
Arlyn, I was gonna say she may have just
designed another t-shirt. We've got a couple coming up. Some folks have come up with
Really
a few
good
more. Yeah.
So Arlyn, what got you training for Special Olympics? Like what are you going to do? I don't know much about like the event for Special Olympics, but like do you want to do like a weightlifting for it?
Paralympics.
Oh, sorry, Paralympics. Sorry, Paralympics. My bad. My bad.
You know, when I started really picking up momentum and like getting a lot better physically, ask my stepfather. It's actually he is also a trainer. He got a certification when he was like 67.
Oh wow. 67.
But like I went to him and I always, well, you all know, I like to challenge myself. And I was like, I want to do something really amazing, really big. What do you think I could do that's really amazing or really big? And just like, well, maybe you should try it for the Paralympics. Which is absurd. Like for a few days, I was like, there's it's ridiculous. But then I was like,
Yeah.
And, you know, I realized, like, whether or not I even lift the weight up, will they only do, like, they don't do certain events, but, like, even if I can't lift the weight up off the floor, that's the point. The point is that I tried, and that's good enough. The point is that I had to dream, and I worked my ass off to fulfill it. Whether I make it or not doesn't matter. It's the fact that I tried.
Yeah, it's more than some people who don't. You know, it's I would rather see you make the attempt than not.
And, you know, the same thing goes for lifting. A lot of people think, oh, I failed because I couldn't do this huge amount of squats. Well, I can't all the time either. The point is, if your heart's all in, if you try your hardest and give your all, your best is enough.
Well,
I know
it's certainly, yeah.
there is that.
It's certainly wonderful, I think, at our age to have goals too. I think that for a long time, at least in our parents' generations, the idea that you would have physical goals lately was very far from possible. They thought that, you know, once you have kids, you're done pretty much. You know, 20s, 30s, it's over for you physically. And now we're seeing all of these women at different age groups and with different experience levels, and certainly a lifelong list of injuries come to the gym and you know, set goals and accomplish these goals. And I think that that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. They because like I do also have a goal, but if you know your old quote, if at first you don't succeed, try again.
Yes.
If you mess up, and I do all the time, get back on the horse and try again.
Exactly. I think that's good advice for anything, not just the gym, but for life in general. You just kind of keep going, persistence. I like the Elizabeth Warren, the quote that came out after Elizabeth Warren grilled McConnell on something. Remember this, nevertheless, she persisted. Right. And I think that fully encapsulates older women at this point. Nevertheless, she persisted. We persist.
Yes. Yes. So Arlyn, what's your next goal? Besides the Paralympics?
Well, I'm about to possibly join a gym in a neighboring city, and because you're knowing me, my workout at home, so I'm thinking of like starting a gym. Well, the cool thing about this gym is it's all like freeways. It's mainly pretty much all men, like big strong men, which like my ego was like, oh, that would be so badass. To work out with big, like strong men. Yes.
That would be.
Have you thought about doing like a powerlifting meet or anything?
I have. I've actually.
I know you have, Arlyn. I know you have.
Well, because I have to qualify for the Paralympics.
Oh.
I have who just competed this year's Paralympics in Tokyo, This connected me with other people, people high up in the Paralympics community, and I get to start competing in powerlifting competitions to get qualified to get my foot in the door.
Oh, well, I know that there are some divisions, like in the federation I lift in the AAU, they do have divisions for individuals who have difficulties. They're labeled different things, but you could certainly compete in an AAU meet. You'd be the only one in your division because there are very few. There's just very few women in general, and then if you have a woman with a disability of some sort, then there just aren't any. So you're welcome to join the AAU if you'd like to come and compete at some point in one of those.
Well, also, I guess this is something new for me that I've come to the conclusion, and it's all to compete at the Paralympics with weightlifting competitions, and in the region, obviously, like with my balance stuff, I get a squat, so I could just do like stuff on the bench. But maybe that's a cocky me, but I'm like, I don't want to do special assistance. I don't want to be sporty. Like, I don't want people to treat me special or like I'm different. Because, like, as far as I'm concerned, I can do things that everyone else can do, and I don't want to be scored or treated any differently.
There you go. Well, that's important.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I think you're going to reach the goal here in the next few years. Yeah, that's impressive. So we're kind of coming to the end of our interview. What would you like to leave folks with?
Well, like I said at the beginning, if all the bazillion appearances I make on our group, so anyone, it's to believe and hope. And I tell you, don't for one single second believe. I have absolutely no defense than anyone else in the group. And I'm telling you, everyone watching this and everyone in the group, if I could do it, I have no doubt whatsoever anyone can do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, Arlyn, thank you so much for hopping on with us. It's just our technical difficulty just happened at the end of our interview. So it's perfect. But Arlyn, thank you so much for hopping on tonight with Old Ladies Lift Chat with Chandler and I. I mean, everything you've said is very empowering and encouraging and inspiring. And I'm so glad that we got to interview tonight.
Thanks.
So before we go, we have to tell everybody that you should check out the Old Ladies Lift site because there you will find athlete bios so you can read about all of the wonderful women who are lifting heavy. There are videos of all of those incredibly heavy lifts, and most importantly, there are t-shirts so that we can continue to do these fun interviews and you can meet them. I think Arlyn has one on right now. If you can scoot back a little, there you go.
I like that one.
And I have one, another one.
I don't have mine on because I haven't gotten it yet, but
well, you
it's
have
coming.
To order it at some point so that I
can. It's coming.
So y'all ought to check those things out. Also, if you are a woman over the age of 40 who lifts or wants to lift, join our private Facebook group called Old Ladies Lift. And again, all of our videos are both on the website, but they're also on our Old Ladies Lift YouTube channel. So thanks everyone for joining us for another Old Ladies Lift chat. Thank you, Arlyn. And thank you, Larnie, for talking me into doing these. It was her idea, by the way. So goodbye, all. We'll see y'all again in a couple weeks.
Make sure you guys like and subscribe the channel. We want to hit 200. Let's hit 200 by the end of the year.
Yes.
So share the page. Share the page, share the YouTube channel. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, because we would love to have 200 subscribers. And the more eyes and ears we can have on the YouTube channel, the more we can benefit the world, especially on the Old Ladies Lift chat.
Exactly.
So,
And I'm going to mention something. We have more than just 200 women lifting in the world that are old and female. In our group, we have almost 12,000 women. So, I mean, there are all over the age of 40, most of them are in their 50s, 60s, and 70s. Most of them started in their older ages, and a lot of them are lifting incredibly heavy weights. And so the idea that you cannot lift while you're old and female is just blatantly wrong.
we're going to poo-poo that notion.
And definitely, that myth is going to go down the toilet for once and all.
Oh, all right, everybody. With that said, thank you guys. Have a wonderful night. Arlyn, thank you again for being our guest tonight. And this is Old Ladies Lift Chat. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.